Okay, so as promised, I'm going to talk to you on how to choose your prawning rod. So again, I want to remind you, all our prawning rods here are sealed. Okay, we don't allow people to come in and bend and test and damage the rod because prawning pole rods are very fragile. If you accidentally knock or you bend wrongly, you don't know how to control, or when you keep, you don't keep properly, or you go and keep the top first and not the bottom first, a lot of issues will come out for prawning rod. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to share with you more so that you don't get into these issues. But most importantly, in the shop, if you want to buy a prawning rod, go and buy online. We don't do walk-ins. Okay, you can go and do self-collection kiosks, meaning that when you purchase, you do self-collection kiosks. We have credit card payments, we have pay now payments. You pay already, we put at the kiosk, you want to come and take, you want fast also can, anything. But as long as you want a pre-tie rig, it will take some time. Okay, as long as you just buy the rod, we don't need to tie anything for you, it will take very fast. So in this video, I want to explain to you because I don't want people to come in and damage the rod. That is why we don't allow people to come and test the rod. Okay, all rods are new and sealed in box. Okay, so how to choose your prawning rod? I get this question almost every day. So I want to say there's two things that people look into the rod. One is the length that it can be extended. We call it the zoom length. Okay. So the zoom length comes in a few calculation. 5, 6, 7, 8. They're actually 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet. So 6 feet is about 180 plus cm, 7 feet, 8 feet. Then we have the shorter one that is 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. Okay, so I'm going to explain something first. First of all, I think about 1 month plus ago, we brought in a lot of new rods. So you can check out our website. We brought in mostly the 6, 7, 8. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. These two lengths. Why? Because the Singapore ponds, they are relatively big. They like to put some bubble and float and all these things in the middle. Then also the place where all the structure where like the water filter and all these things are mostly in the middle of the pond. So a lot of people like to play the middle bubble. And the ponds in Singapore are relatively big. Okay, so we recommend you to use a 6, 7, 8 so that you can get further. Okay, but there's also spots that is nearby. So we recognize that some people like to play nearby shorter rods. Okay, so if you watch some of my videos or some of my shots of prawning, my daughter also do prawning. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a little bit on this. Because if you are not very tall or you want to recommend kids to do prawning, it's easier to do it with a shorter rod because it's lighter and for their wrist power, it's easier to have a good strike. Okay, so we actually brought in shorter rods also. So first of all, two things that you see in the rod 6, 7, 8. I don't know whether this one is easier or you can look at this. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the length of the rod. So some of the rods you see like they write 90, 120 and 150. This is in cm, so they are still the same because 90 is 3, 4, 5. So this is 3, 4, 5. Okay, if I'm not wrong, this is 3, 4, 5. Okay, we actually translated the length on our website, so you can check it out on our website. So this one we also have it in the short mode 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 90 you divide by 3, you divide by 30, that's 3. So that's how you get 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the length you must know first. Some of the rods, they are very special. They can extend. Okay, so the cheaper ones can only extend maybe 6 to 7 feet. Then the middle range one will go 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet. Then the very expensive one, which is more expensive the ones that can go 5 zoom. 5 zoom is like this one that we bring in called the colorful. This is a new model, okay? This one you see, you can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can go 5 length. Okay? So these are the more expensive one. So first of all, you have to find out what is your budget. If your budget is high, go for the more expensive one. Because frankly speaking, the expensive one is there for a reason. It's lighter, there's more zoom, the overall blank sensitivity maybe is higher and all these things. Okay? But basically, the next thing that you should look at is the power of the rod, which is also determine how stiff the rod is. Okay, so in this video, I'll also explain later stiff and soft, what is the difference. Stiff means like the rod very hard. So over here, this one, it's not written here, but I have the catalog. The catalog for this colorful, right, is 92H. So if you go to the website, right, I will write colorful, 彩虹, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is inside the model you can find. Then the stiffness you can see 92H, 95H, 88H. They have a different H. It's not written on the box. I don't know why the Taiwanese didn't write it on the box, but it's written in my website. So my website will tell you everything. So like for example, okay, this one is written lah. So you can see this is a 93H, 93H. You can see 93H. Okay. Some of the rods they are written, some is not. I'm not too sure why. Let's see another one. Okay, the popular one. This one you always buy also, George. Okay, George. Let's see whether is it written or not. Also never write. Okay, so anyway, I don't know why it's not written on the box lah, but it's written on my website. Okay, I didn't know that it's not written on the box. So if you go to my website, you will see 92H, 95H, 96H, 90H, 88H. Okay, it all ends with a H. Okay, that's how they rate their rods. First of all, let me explain to you. The higher the number, the stiffer the rod. So I have never seen a 100H. So I think 100H means that the rod don't bend. Maybe that's how they rate it. So we have this new rod called the 天泉. Okay, this one is 95H. Is the stiffest. I think it's the stiffest you can find in our whole range. Why we have this? So 天泉 we come in this very short length, 345. Why we have this? First of all, why? Is because this one people use to whack lobster, crayfish, and saltwater prawn. So they need a very stiff rod to jam the hook in. And because saltwater prawn, right, they use weighted hooks. So I'm going to show you some of the new things that we bring in. So if you see people go for like saltwater prawn, right, they will use these weighted hooks, which is customized one, so you cannot get it. We also got it into shop already. Okay, so you can check out our website. This is the weighted hooks. Very good, this camera. Okay, so you can get it from our website. So normally you want to put float, don't want to put float also can, because if you, some people don't put float, right, they do the length properly. So the rod, when the rod move, they will see, because they put it at the rod stand at the pond. Then when the rod move, right, they will know that saltwater prawn is biting. When saltwater prawn bite, they bite pretty hard. If not, they bite and then they run. So that it's very easy to see a tick on the saltwater prawning hooks. And normally we try to level the hooks also a little bit higher than the bottom of the pond. Okay, so saltwater prawning, lobster, people try to use weighted hooks. Okay, so you can check it out on the website. Okay, now back to the rods. So we try to have the stiffer rods for saltwater prawning, so 95H. Then later on you will see 93H, 92H, 90H. Okay, so the higher the number, the harder and stiffer the rod is. The smaller the number, like example, some people they prefer a softer rod. So this is like roach. This one we also bring in 345, 456, 567. This is 88H. Okay, so let me explain. Stiff rod is easier to 打虾. 打虾 means when you strike, you can strike harder. You can tak, tak. Some people like that feeling, but the fight is not that fun, because the rod is very hard. The prawn fly out very fast. But people can 打虾. But for my kid, example for my kid, they must use softer rod, 88, 85, 82. I try not to use less than 80. Like less than 80 is very, very soft. I know there's a group of people that like it, but it's very soft for me. So 85, 88, why they use the softer rod? Because they don't have strength to 打虾, So they just want to, they will just lift lightly, or they have the momentum to lift up, or they just very light can go in. That you have to use soft rod. Okay, so you have to use the 88, 85, 86. So this is what I realized, because when I teach her, she used the softer rod. She can catch the fish easier. If you use the hard rod, you call her to 打, she 打不进, and she not fast enough, the flick not hard enough. So the softer rod is easier to teach the people that have less wrist power or don't want to da so hard, just want to lift up slowly, just want to have a light tip, maybe the softer rod works better. And the fight of the prawn also more fun. So some people like the you know, that kind of fight. And sometimes when the prawn too small, you will realize the softer rod is easier to hook the prawn, because some pond their prawn is too small. Then very hard to just 打. Sometimes you 打不到 because the weight of the prawn is too small. And then some small prawn they like to take and run. I feel that a little harder to 打. So everybody got different techniques. Some people feel that small prawn, they use bigger hooks, they can 打得下 different ways. Okay, but just my recommendation, if you don't want to, you want more fun, you don't want to strike so hard, use a softer rod. If you like to do saltwater prawn, you like to catch lobster, you like to strike hard, you know, then you use the stiffer rod. Okay, then how to choose really depends on your budget. You go for the more expensive one, the rod is lighter, more sensitive, maybe you can feel the fight better and all these things. That is how they price their rods. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you have any question, leave your comments below. I will answer you here. Again, please buy online, because all the rods are sealed. You cannot come down and pull and bang and test. We don't allow all these things because we want to make sure that we deliver to you a brand new rod. So thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe button. I see you in the next episode, and bye bye.